What up, guys? Welcome back to Cobra's Customs, where we're taking on that fifth wheel remodel. As you can see, the slide outs out on this side. We're still using our same battery we brought. Had to kind of bypass this. I think it's what's called a diode. It's how electricity only travels one way, but the bottom peg was broken, so we just wire nutted it, or not wire nutted, but nutted it onto the second upper peg, so we got power going up to our motor to start moving our slide outs. So that's the other side right there, which you probably saw a quick preview that's got no ceiling. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what we got so far. Found a lot more flooring that was rotted. So it's kind of funny because the slide out was obviously pushed in, and so that has plywood on it, solid flooring, haven't had to mess with it, sweeped it up great. Then of course you slid it out, and now we get into the OSB, and that's just absolutely destroyed. So we got a beehive coming in over here. You might even be able to see the bee. So an actual beehive over there, which I don't want to destroy because we actually have an apple tree, and I'd like to have them pollinate that tree. But we'll see what we get into when we get over to this corner. Anyway, I took a couple pictures of this because I got to remember where the framing was. So obviously I have a board that goes front to back. I got to replace this one, and it kind of jogs over and then comes along. So I got that to do. But this metal flange here is where our wheel well is, so to keep our wood protected from water splash up from the wheels. Of course you got to step over because that black stuff is literally the membrane. That's the bottom of the trailer right there, so that's what's keeping water from coming up into the bottom of our trailer. So we want to make sure we don't puncture that, don't step on it, anything like that, because then we got to crawl underneath there, or potentially if it's still open up on top, patch it so that way we don't get water up here. So as you can see, this board that's still in here, this is one of the metal bracings. You can kind of see the outline of it there. So that's one of the trailer bracings, and you can see where it's kind of dry rotted on that metal bracing. So that board's still got to come out yet. We got to do that all along there. This one broke out, this middle one, and then we've been working on this corner pretty heavily. Well, I shouldn't say pretty heavily. I opened up this corner and realized I need to take some pictures because we got various boards in here that we got to replace. So the far side here, we got a 2x4. Then it looks like some 2x2s, and then another 2x2 that this electrical box was holding on to. And you can see by looking at that how this is at a back slant, and over here it's flat. So that's where we're dealing with the trailer having sunk down on this wall, and I found that out also when I was pushing this guy out, that it was hitting on this side. So we definitely have to get this portion of the flooring fixed first, so that way we can replace this portion of the wall, so that way we can replace the support piece that goes all the way to the front and back on this awning side, or not awning, but push out side, so that way it all gets lifted back up to its stock height. I'm going to try and use this guy as my reference, but I also need to get under here because there's boards under there that are dry rotted and damaged. So lots to do, definitely lots to do. I can see a seam here, so obviously I'll be taking this piece off, trying to leave this half over here. So again, I can use that as my reference point, and then get this so that way it's all leveled back out, re-support this wall and all that jazz. I have only found one bolt so far, but I'm sure I'll find more underneath this piece of boarding here. Sure I'll find more bolting, but this is one of the bolts that actually holds the wood frame down to the metal trailer frame, and so I didn't take the piece of board out that it's holding on to yet. That's still kind of in there, but I don't want to take it out because I don't want to lose track of where that's at. So we got that to do. This side doesn't look too bad on the inside. I want to pull this laminate flooring crap up because we are going to actually use this nice snap-in wood flooring when it gets done. So that'll be pretty awesome, which also means instead of doing the heavy-duty, what I'm thinking is 3/4, it might be 7/8, I don't know, probably 3/4, OSB on here. I might drop down to a 1/2 inch because once I add that on top of it, it's going to also give it more structural integrity. Because if we go to this and then I also add that on top of it, it might be hard for the awnings to come in just because of a height change, but also it'll just make it that much heavier. And we need to make this a little bit lighter if possible. So that's what we're going to work with. We found some doors that are clearly not closing. They need to be redone. This is like all the metal outsiding pieces for this slide out. So we got that. Let's see, what else? What else did we find? We found a lot of goodies today. Oh, I walked right by them. These are the interior trim pieces that go, you can see this one up here, but it's missing this side and missing that side. I'm not sure why those were taken off, but I'll get it fixed. And so then obviously once we get this side retarped and everything we have to horrible English, we have to get those trim pieces put back on. But that's a ways out. For tonight, I'm probably just going to throw some plastic over this. It looks like there's some plastic sitting here on the counter. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of get that thrown over there. It's not supposed to rain tonight, but just to cover our ass, if you will. So that's what we're working at. I think I'm going to stop here for tonight because, it's going to take me a little bit to get that plastic thrown on there, get the ladder out and all that jazz. We obviously have this thing. You can see where this is also kind of leaning on the left side of the screen there. Excuse me. You can see it's leaning down. That bottom board's kind of bent and warped. So obviously this whole side has suffered a lot of water damage and needs to be re-supported. And then once we get up here in the front, which I'm really not going to go over again, but that guy's going to need a lot of work as well. But what we have right now has been pretty phenomenal. And so we're going to... Oh, look at that. She decided to show back up. Okay. She'll be excited. I'm going to let her have her fun and check this out. But, yeah, I hope you guys stay tuned. And we're going to keep working away on this thing and see how far we get over the next few days.